Hey there, boys and girls, incredible people of the world. We have, once again, the Culture Crows coming at you, international style. We have Stu.
Hello.
We have Rob. And we have Jeffrey.
Hello.
And this is James. We're truly international. Like, even though Rob and Stu are podcasting from England at the moment, Stu, as you well know, is from Northern England, and Rob is from.
I am from Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
There we go. So this is truly
international.
Truly international. Like, we've added a country. I feel like. Maybe we should start collecting pieces and adding more countries. So, like, I know some people from India. Like,
you know somebody from Russia, right?
Well, I do. One of my best friends is from Russia. So, like, maybe we can like really do like a mosaic of the world and talk nerdy.
Does that hurt, Jeff? Does that hurt when he calls somebody else his best friend?
No.
Jeff knows where he is in my heart. Jeff is a brother. Okay.
Yes. Okay. That's better than a best friend. Absolutely.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right. So, Stu. Yes. I learned a couple things because we were supposed to meet like an hour ago to Jeff and me. But what we didn't know is that you guys do your daylight savings time like in 2 weeks.
That's true. That's true.
So like we did our time change thing yesterday, and Jeff and I were sitting here like, where the fuck is Stu? He's never been this late before. I was like, I'll text him. And then you didn't, someone trying to figure out.
For someone who is constantly communicating back to North America, I'm very aware of this. So there is a 2-week window that there's a 4-hour difference from where we are to Toronto, and then we go back to a 5-hour difference once the time change happens.
So yeah, I guess that's where we're in our little 2-hour interregnum at the moment.
Yeah, we're in the window right now. Yes,
and I live in Cumbria, so we're about 5 years behind everybody else anyway.
Oh, but 5 hours, 5 years, it's all good.
Is that Oreo?
You have a dog named Oreo. I love that.
Oh, it's not.
God, you love dead air. Don't you just love dead air? So, Rob, what has inspired your costume today? Well, James is sort of the dog.
I know, man.
It's my curtains out of my bedroom. I just threw them on. They really are curtains.
Oh, jeez.
So they're vintage 1970s curtains that's been transformed into this marvelous.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a great bit of recycling.
Looks like what are those called? Epaulettes on the shoulders. Is that what they're called? Epaulettes?
Yeah. Well, if you keep looking at the moo for long enough, then you'll have an epaulette fit. An epaulette. Oh.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Should I just leave and just let you guys get on with dinner?
Show yourself out the door, Stu.
I'll get my hat.
Maybe the dog is done. Maybe we can hope. Okay, and if I have to mute myself, I will to like not have to edit as much. Hopefully.
Keep giving them peanut butter.
It is very funny because they're always like.
We've all done it. We've all done it.
I don't think that's not.
No, I know what you're both talking about.
I've heard the stories. I've heard the stories.
Okay. All right. Well,
excellent.
It's actually my father-in-law's dog, and the dog's name is Lucy. She can often be a bit of a shit, so we call her Lucifer. I didn't come up with that, even though it was like not natural fit. Okay, yeah. She's moving away from. She heard us talking shit about her.
Was it
what?
I had a cat named Lucy. All my cats have been named after Charlie Brown characters.
Nice.
So at the moment we have Linus, Franklin, and Schroeder.
Very good.
Charlie and Lucy, God rest their souls, are not with us anymore.
Oh,
that's okay. Like it should happen. But it's yeah. I'm a huge Peanuts fan.
Picky nuts.
Sorry.
I heard it for a second too. I'm a huge penis fan.
I was like, what?
Well, maybe that too. But.
I'm gonna say, mutually exclusive. I don't think so.
Well, we've got good balance today now.
Yes, that's true. Hey, okay, gentlemen, let's strike while the iron's hot here. So, ladies and gentlemen, Culture Crows present our top dinner guests, and we actually toyed with the idea of actually cooking a meal, which one of us actually may or may not have done, but the other three of us are not that industrious, I should say, and we did not do that. Of course, I'm not even at my house at the moment, so that would be weird as well.
Besides, I'd have to find a place to buy elk.
Ooh.
Oh, is that what you would eat?
This is one of the courses.
All right, you know what? I took a completely different approach to mine. Anyway, so Jeff and I were talking about this too while we were waiting, because once we figured out that we had not quite daylight savings time over there yet, we were talking like this is a question that people ask, like, if you could have dinner with any one person ever, who would it be? And you get like.
Do you remember my answer? Do you remember my initial answer? It was very sweet.
Jesus Christ! I know you want to have dinner with Jesus.
I said it'd be nice to have dinner with you guys right now.
Oh, that's right. It's like, hey.
That'd be nice.
Right.
But if you invite Jesus, all you're going to get is bread and wine. It's a bit of a boring meal, isn't it?
I don't know. He does do the whole fish and loaves thing.
He does do fish. Okay, so we'll have fish on. Yeah, that'll do.
What about partaking of the herbs of the field?
The show afterwards, quite a thing, apparently. So
the what?
The show afterwards.
Oh, because he'd be doing some miracles and.
Last Supper thing.
Oh,
up on a cross. It's
that would be something to behold for sure.
And rising again,
it'd be like Saw live.
It would be like Saw live. Yeah, I like that. Oh my God,
no, thank you. Okay, so Stu, this was actually your idea. And of course, I've always been curious about this kind of thing. And, I'm a big history guy anyway. And it was funny because in narrowing down I only settled on my person like an hour before Jeff and I got on here. And it's because it kept going. It's like, oh my God, would I do something modern? Would I even have anything to talk about? Oh my God. And then my biggest thing is about they say, don't meet your heroes. So I didn't want to. Ultimately, I chose somebody I would think that would be cool to meet, but I wouldn't necessarily consider him a hero, just in case he turns out to be a dick.
Yeah, and you've also got to have dinner with him as well.
That's true. Yeah. You have to have stuff to talk about. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay, so are you guys ready? Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Ready.
Shablam.
Ooh, nice one, Jeff.
Yes.
Interesting. Wow, that's cool.
Whoa.
Oh, all right.
My moms are freaking out.
Stu, you got your guy. Why don't you go ahead and talk about you called it a starter. Do you guys not call them appetizers?
Only if I'm on holiday, perhaps might call it an appetizer, but generally it's a starter.
I would call it an appetizer. Yeah.
Okay, so if I hear the word starter at a restaurant, I would think I'm at one of those have you ever seen the movie Office Space?
Yeah.
The people are wearing their flair. What's your starter today? I'm like, I don't want the tater skins, okay? just give me the fucking bowl of chili. Okay. So there you go. Stu.
Yes.
What is your starter appetizer? And we'll get the conversation going.
I think for my starter, I would like to have antipasti. I love a bit of antipasti.
Oh.
So meats and olives and almonds and cheeses, and we can all share. It's a good thing to kind of like get everybody initially just chilled and relaxed.
Are we talking like a charcuterie board?
It's an Italian thing, so generally it's like so basically they bring out a big board of cheeses and meats and almonds and olives. And
I'm not anti-pasta. I'm pro pasta.
No, not pasta, pasti, antipasti.
I like pasties too.
Like the Cornish kind.
Yeah, Cornish pasta is nice. But yeah, it's a sharing platter of meats and cheeses and olives, and because I'm just a bit of a snob, really.
Wait, no, you're an eccentric. You're eccentric.
Well, I was just looking through my list of everything which I've got on for my dinner here, and I'm looking back and going, well, I was brought up a very working class sort of lad, but I don't think that's a world I was born to be in. According to my menu, I'm a snob.
You've advanced in your life, and you're ready to break some bread with Robin Williams. Okay,
absolutely.
Like it's a once in a not lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Robin Williams tier.
You've served your antipasti charcuterie, and you are breaking bread with Robin Williams. What's the first thing you say to him after you've invited him in? After you've taken his coat, you sit him down.
Oh.
What do you say?
The first thing, well, you'd have to break the ice, and you wouldn't start off on a big question.
Well, no. Like, I mean, you've already done the niceties where you come in.
Okay,
I definitely have to break the ice.
We've already done. So, what have you been up to this week? How are you doing?
Yes.
We've done all that. So, I suppose the first thing I would say was, how do you do it? Like the magic that you on stage, you manage to just to get hold of a thing. You got to get a theme. And you run with it, and it just seems to go off in all these different tangents and directions, and you take everybody with you, and everybody's following you, and we're all kind of relating at the same time, and it all seems totally effortless. And then I look back on your shows, and there's obviously there's some of it scripted, but there's this improvised sort of spirit. How on earth do you do that?
I know part of the story.
Okay.
When he was in high school, he would take a nail brush and he would paint LSD on his nails, and then he would just in class.
Really?
Just kind of on his nails.
Or just sit and trip out.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's an interview where he talks about it.
Oh, cool. I mean, see, there's so many different levels to Robin Williams about his life and his. It's only I just watched the documentary Robin's Wish a couple of weeks ago, and it's unbelievable. But I find out about the end of his life and what happened to his brain. And so for somebody to go from having such a lively, energetic sort of like mind, which goes all over the shop, and I don't know, could the drugs helped in the long run, or did it really just fuck him up for a long period of time?
What happened to his brain in the long run?
He had a form of Parkinson's disease.
Oh, that's
right. I remember reading something a while ago. I didn't know about the LSD thing either, but they say if you've done LSD enough times that it does cause some sort of brain issue later on. So yeah, I wonder if that is related.
It was something called lupin something or other. So basically his brain. So yeah, it was just a form. It's not dementia, but it's a form of Parkinson's. So yeah, watch the documentary Robin's Wish. It's unbelievable. It's incredible because everything. Well, because there's still, even after the documentary, there's this thing that people are like, he was so depressed and he killed himself. And well, he killed himself because part of the Parkinson's thing and part of the lupins thing is that you end up doubting yourself and you end up having suicidal thoughts, and it's the disease of the Parkinson's which is making the brain do that. And it's not to do with depression, it's to do with the Parkinson's.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so everybody's like, oh, he was all depressed and he was, and when he was back and he was drinking and drugs again, he was meditating with his wife for really. So it was just this thing which made him circle. So obviously I'd like to, if I was having dinner with Robin Williams, you're probably somewhere after the drugs and before the Parkinson's.
Mm.
The sweet Mrs. Doubtfire, that sweet spot.
Nice.
I love
Nice.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
It's
Yeah.
all right. So wait. So Jeffrey, Stu, Rob, I want your favorite Robin Williams movies. Go.
Oh, jeez.
For the What Dreams May Come is probably number one.
Oh,
Really?
that's a tearjerker, man.
That's yeah.
It's definitely Dead Poet Society for me.
Dead Poet Society for me as well, sir.
Yeah.
Oh man, I actually really like the Birdcage.
Oh, good
Birdcage is
choice.
good.
Great. He's very good. He does play Campman very well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, so I also the picture I chose looks like it's like Good Morning Vietnam era.
Yes, it does.
Which like I rewatched that probably about 5 or 6 months ago, and
We
I
used to
didn't
watch
like
that
it.
together.
I didn't like it as well because you find out that this Adrian Cronauer was like this big Trump supporter or something like that. I'm just like, oh fuck this guy.
Oh,
Fuck
God.
this guy. Never mind. I don't like this movie anymore.
but
It was hard to separate that.
And the other thing about having Robin as my guest is, well, it's nice to have dinner with somebody you find extremely attractive. It's just, it's,
Oh,
you know what I mean? It's just because I really I've had a massive crush on Robin Williams for years. And there's nothing that I find more sexy than a funny guy. It's just one of the things.
nice. All right, Jeffrey, you're up. Let's see.
So, my prelude question is, what's your real name? Because his name isn't as cool as it is. His name isn't Iceman.
Okay, so we have to set this up. Are you having dinner with him in his time? Are we assuming that we all have like a Wayback Machine / TARDIS, whatever?
I'm snatching his ass to the future.
Okay, you're snatching his ass to the present, and you have a way to commute. You've taught him English, I presume.
Translator microbes.
Okay, okay. So we have a
Farscape
way.
style.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure we have the context. Go.
So I'd ask him what his real name is, because I'm not going to call him Otzi because he's going to be like, "What the hell is that?" My first course: double bacon elk burger with cheese and French fries.
Damn.
Have you ever had an
Nice.
elk burger? They are
No.
delicious.
They're pretty good. I have.
It sounds like it's something from Lord of the Rings.
Bro,
Oh, no, that's an orc.
a place
Oh yes, orc. No orc burgers.
elk. Used to get them at a place called Lunkers, but they went out of business.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that place went out of business. Okay.
Do you ever
That's
go to
Rob-
Lunkers?
No, but I remember hearing about it. Wasn't it in Edwardsburg,
It was in Indiana somewhere,
Indiana? Okay.
and you could get
Sorry, we're going
ostrich-
way back.
You get ostrich burgers and elk burgers and buffalo burgers.
Oh, I mean, I know you can still get that stuff here. Well, and where we live in Tampa. Okay. That's it. So you just say, "Hey, dude, what's your name?"
Oh no, that's the prelim. I have to get to know his name. Oh, and then I basically went with 2 questions per course.
Okay. So what's
Question
up?
one. So, how was your flight?
Oh my god. Okay. Does he probably thinks you're a wizard now?
It's like, well, I didn't shit myself too many times. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Second question: who taught you how to smelt and work with copper? Because he's very famous for having a copper axe. And they could also tell that he did actually work with the copper because his hair had a lot of traces of arsenic in them. And that's one of the byproducts of smelting copper is arsenic.
Interesting.
So he was an important man.
Mm.
He was a smith.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Rob, I have to tell I'm actually pretty interested in your choice. So go ahead.
Can I just add something about Outsy?
Absolutely.
I think he's credited as the first dabber. He was dabbing.
Oh.
If you Google an image of this guy, you will see he's dabbing. So,
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's
He is.
what-
credited
That's
as
true.
that.
Awesome.
So,
So I don't know who he is.
well, after this,
Yeah, we should get the background for that one, Jeff. Go ahead.
He do you remember that guy who was found in a glacier in the Alps in the 90s, I think it was.
He's on the Italian. He's actually on the Italian side,
Yeah.
but like somebody was hiking from the Swiss side
Uh-huh.
and found because like he's right there on the international border.
They thought it was just somebody who had died a few years ago, and it turns out it was around 5,300 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Looks
That's why
like
he looks. That's why the picture recreation of him looks so gnarly because
Yeah.
I think what was really cool about him was that he has been mummified because of the cold conditions and stuff like that. That was up on. Yeah.
Well, that's why.
cool.
That's part of the reason why I chose the elk burgers because they, in his stomach, they found einkorn, red deer, and ibex meat, and a bunch of ibex fat.
Right.
46% of his stomach contents were made up of animal fat residues,
Wow. That's very cool. That's very cool.
which I think is like might not have been his normal diet because he was making a trip through the mountains, and part of the way they stayed warm back then is by eating a lot of fat.
Right.
And why did he die there?
Cholesterol.
I'm gonna get to it. He did have.
Oh, okay, because I actually have it, and it had the recreation of one of the pictures. So,
Oh yeah, they actually found a lot of plaque in his arteries. Actually, to tell the
oh yeah, I think I remember reading about that. Okay, so Rob, you're up. Tori Amos.
Yeah, Tori. Oh my God.
Are you a huge fan?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Would you be called a super fan?
I am a Tory fan. Yes.
Okay.
I am. Yeah, it all goes back to about 1991 when I was at uni in like northern Ontario in this city called Sudbury, and my friend called me from Windsor, Ontario, and said, "Now in Canada, our version of MTV was Much Music," and he said, "Oh, turn on Much Music. You got to see this. This girl playing piano. She's like amazing. I'm a piano player, and I played in bands for many years. So.
coincidence."
And and he said, "Oh, you got to see this girl playing. She's alive right now on Much Music." So I turned it on, and my jaw just hit the ground, and I was like mesmerized. It hasn't stopped. I have been in love with this woman for, how many decades now? 3 going on 3 decades. She is just a force of nature. This musician, this artist. She was she was signed to Diva Records, which only a handful of women have been signed to, such as Aretha Franklin. I'm trying to think who else, like Madonna, like these.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, possibly. I don't know. There's I'm thinking more old school. She's she's definitely up there. I love everything she's ever created. And her relationship to music and her relationship to her muses, she calls them her muses, and how she writes music, her creative process. It's just as a creative person and someone who writes music, I find incredibly inspiring. So yeah, Tori, love her.
Well, I don't know about I don't think Jeff is much of a fan.
Was she the one who did? I don't really know about too many things. I know what I know. If you know what I mean.
That's the wrong one.
Crap.
Yeah.
Like Annie DeFranco or something like Annie DeFranco.
Give me some
Cornflake Girl.
Was it Cornflake Girl was probably pretty big back then.
That's the big, yeah.
Give me some lyrics from her.
Never been a cornflake girl. Thought you would.
Not that.
No, is your piano? Is it?
Oh yeah, do silent all these years.
Rob, is your piano on?
Years. That's another good one.
That's one of my favorites.
Rob, is it? Rob,
I know I've heard
on?
some of her songs. I just can't remember right now.
Yeah, she's not like mainstream. She's definitely not mainstream. She never has been.
I used to watch VH1.
She's definitely got a cult following. Like, I mean,
I would say she's like. I mean, she's pretty big. I mean,
yeah.
She's huge.
I was a huge Tory fan for 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
I think the last album I bought from her was Beekeeper, and I kind of just my interest waned a little bit. But like she's still near and dear to my heart from like the '90s up through I guess whenever Beekeeper, 2006, 2007.
I have to admit her early stuff. I think, which probably because I'm biased and it's more my formative years. I think.
Right. Well, I mean, me too.
I think.
All right. So, what's your favorite Tori song?
Probably Icicle, God, Pretty Good Year.
So are you Under the Pink is your favorite album?
Under the Pink, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. What if God was one of those?
No, that's
let's go out for Jeffrey. God damn it, Jeff.
I could
God damn it, Jeff.
That's our catchphrase, Rob. At some point, you have to say, "God damn it,
Rob,
Jeff."
this was me during
God damn it, Jeff. Let me play a little bit of Tori.
Yes.
All right.
Shit, I lost my test. No, wait, there it is.
All right.
Oh, shit, I did lose my test.
This where's my pedal? Here's my pedal. This is Pretty Good Year, Tori Amos.
Yay.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Tears on the sleeve of a man. Don't wanna be a boy today. He heard the eternal footman. He bought himself a bike to race. And Greg, he writes letters and burns his CDs. He said you were something in those formative years. Hold on to nothing as fast as you can. Well, I could go on, but I won't.
Stu, this brings up the question: why the fuck have you never serenaded us, sir?
Because I'm not as good as Rob.
Yes, you are.
Is that what it is?
Oh my god!
It's all a lie. It's a charade.
Oh, damn!
Actually,
wow.
no.
That was good.
This is Rob that I play with in our side project. This is we are 2/3 of Big Boys Camp.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's okay. I saw you post something about that. That's right. Okay.
If we're talking niche musical genres, then we've got it covered.
I'm definitely as far as albums go, I'm definitely a Pele guy. Like that. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Like track one to the end. I love everything.
The soccer player, Pele.
No. Pele, but the Hawaiian mountain that males were sacrificed to this mountain. You know that. Yeah.
Just because she's called Tory, it doesn't mean she votes Conservative.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And she's a big fan. She's a big fan and friends with Neil Gaiman as well.
Oh yeah, huge fan. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your question, Rob?
Yeah.
What's my question?
What would you ask Tori Amos in your kitchen as she stands there drinking her cup of wine, goblet of wine?
Did we do the first course? What was the first course?
Oh yeah. What's your appetizer?
Oh, what's my appetizer?
Yeah.
Oh, bruschetta.
Ooh,
okay. Very nice.
Fancy.
I have my two favorite cuisines on the planet. It's got to be Italian first. I just have a thing for Italian food, even though I grew up French Canadian. But anyway, don't tell my nan about that.
Poutine.
Oh, poutine. Have you had poutine?
No, I haven't actually.
I have. I had poutine yesterday, but it was in Tennessee, so it was mostly gravy.
Right, mostly gravy. Probably like cheddar cheese instead of cheese curd.
It was actually cheese sauce. So it wasn't even real cheese. It's the fake chemical stuff.
Oh my god!
He's
Tennessee. What do you want?
You're making my Muppet hair.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't do it. But
so, what's your question to her then?
What to Tori?
Yes.
While
you're nibbling your bruschetta.
While we're nibbling bruschetta, I would say, Tori, where how do you tap into your muses? Like where do you go to tap your muses? How do you find it? Because she's got this relationship. It's more than just being a creative person. She sees it as a narrative where she connects with something quite spiritual, and they come to her and she sees them in that way. And they're all women. Her narratives are quite feminine. Her instruments, her pianos and stuff she plays on, she sees them as some sort of divine conduit, almost in this sort of Wiccan, sort of a witchy sort of way, which I love.
I always thought that music was one of the only magics that actually exists, like music, literature, movies.
Yeah.
That can affect us internally from without.
Yeah.
That's magic.
So I would ask her where that comes from. How does she evoke this? How does she, how does she tap this energy? So that's what I would do.
I think that's a pretty good one. That's pretty good. All right, gentlemen, I guess I'll go ahead and go to mine. And I have to admit, I did not choose my person until a little while before. And I kept going back and forth between like 3 different people. One of my individuals was John Huston. And I don't know if you guys know who John Huston is.
Didn't he do Home Alone? I joke.
I was thinking John Hughes too.
That's at least close to that's the thing. So I'm like, oh man, John Huston would be great, but nobody will know who he is. He's famous for being like a movie director during Hollywood's golden age. He's Angelica Houston's dad.
Wow.
But Jeffrey, he also voices Gandalf in the Hobbit cartoon, Lord of the Rings.
1977.
I swear I'm not farting right now. It's the dog. Okay. John Huston, he's an Oscar-winning director. He did Maltese Falcon from way back. So he's got some street cred, and I think he would have been great to pick his brain about the golden age of Hollywood and the people he worked with, and I bet he would have great stories. But when it came down to it, I think Marcus Aurelius is my guy because I would absolutely be interested in some of the things he had to say. And like I said, you don't want to meet your hero. So if he turned out to be a dick, I'd be like, he's Marcus Aurelius.
And he's in your genealogy.
He's a busy guy.
He's in your genealogy as well.
Oh, yes. So a few years ago, I actually was able to trace my lineage back to, and even a little bit further back than Marcus Aurelius. He's my 50th grandfather. So there's some sort, that's wow. That's actually part of my question is would you have imagined your lineage carrying? I mean, okay, if you do the math of that, which I did a few years ago, so if you go back 50 generations, you have about 2,500 ancestors. And if you obviously male, female, so half that. So I would have X amount of grandfathers going back that far. But to think that your line would carry on for so many generations, I was like, what would you think about that? Because obviously I'm not the only one. I'm one of thousands that this guy would have, and that's just true.
So is that your first question?
Yeah, as it I'm saying, what do you think about, not only is your physical lineage carrying on, but in terms of his intellectual legacy, he Stoic philosophy is very popular, and what Marcus Aurelius's Meditations is consistently in the top 10, top 20 philosophical books ever, sold every year, and it's one of the best sellers of all time.
I think he'd find I think he'd find it interesting that you studied history, philosophy, and Latin.
Yeah,
so I think he'd find that pretty interesting. Sorry, Stu, what were you going to say?
Just that the range of and the people that he's influenced over the years to this day. I think it was about a year ago I saw a thing on YouTube about Marcus Aurelius's teachings and how to sort of have a better mindset and things. And every single night, I do one of the things which Marcus would do every single night is basically you go through your mind and think about all the good things which happened in the day, and you sort of it's a journal. So you can basically kind of the gratefulness side of things. So yeah, so his teachings still are getting used all this time later. I'd love to know.
Stoic philosophy is huge right now, and he's kind of at the forefront of that. So it's
damn dog,
Lucifer.
I'm sure they've got guns in Tennessee. You can find one somewhere.
I brought mine with me.
Oh, you did?
Shut the damn dog up. Anyway, shall we move on?
Wait, what food? What food? We can't hear you, James. We can't hear you.
All right. Are you ready for this? I'm serving Marcus Aurelius nachos.
I just thought mine was lowbrow.
I'm giving Marcus. Okay, first of all, Roman cuisine is disgusting. All right, I've read the old cookbooks. Yeah. It's all gross.
Yeah.
So I'm giving Marcus Aurelius some Mexican food to start off with in the form of nachos.
Any toppings?
There, ground beef, some guacamole, sour cream, some pico.
Oh my God.
Not gonna serve them wolf's nipple chips.
No, I might even throw in some of that. Like they have that the brisket type stuff they put on there. Oh, of course that was the restaurant I went to in California, but whatever. Okay, all right, we're moving on.
Okay.
So I put myself up again here. So Marcus Aurelius, this is our main dish. All right.
Yes.
I'm staying with like what kind of food? Okay, so speaking of putting, let's see, on a plane and thinking you're a wizard, okay, I want Marcus Aurelius to think I'm a food wizard. And I'm going to serve him Chicago-style pizza.
Deep pan. You've already carved him up already. He's not going to shit for a week.
I'm okay with that. It's worth the pain, Stuart.
It's a pain I can't relate to.
Yeah,
it's worth it. Chicago, like he's gonna bite into that, and he will enter. He'll probably have to stop eating after one bite.
You know,
it's too much pleasure. It's too much pleasure.
Italians don't like American pizza.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying Chicago style, because it's better.
We went to a place with a bunch of writing on the wall. We need sometime. I can't remember why or when.
Wait, what?
What?
Didn't we go to that place in Chicago with the deep dish and the writing on the wall?
I don't remember.
Like, everyone signs their name on the wall.
Like Ed DeBevics, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think we went there sometime for some reason.
I don't remember this, but that doesn't mean it's not true. All I know is like, oh wait, so Rob, you love the Chicago style as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I love it. Yeah, you know what? I think if you were trying to help him broaden his horizons, I think he'd be open to that. You know, he seems to be a character that would be open to that.
Why not? Well,
he'd want anchovies though.
Oh, yeah, you know what? So would I. So I would be with him on that.
Because he's used to garum.
Well, I mean, I'm allergic to fish, so I couldn't actually do that.
That's true.
But, you know. Okay, Rob, you're up. Tori, you're sitting down for your main dish, which consists of...
Yeah, you know what? This is totally... you know what? I'm going to take this in a new direction, I think.
It's probably welcome at this point.
Okay. I was sticking with an Italian theme, but I'm going to sort of diverge from that. I'm going Korean. You know, I think Tori would enjoy a nice bibimbap.
You have much more to impress with Tori Amos, I think. With Marcus Aurelius, he's eating shit all of his life.
He's eating shit all of his life. Tori has, you know, she's a
bit of a sophisticated palate.
She's sophisticated, yeah. And I would have to raise the bar a bit. And
Okay.
What is it you're having?
what-
Sorry, I missed.
Yeah.
Because of Korean something.
yeah, so I'd probably give her some bibimbap and some sondu bujjigae, as they call it. It's basically a stew that you take a spoonful of rice and you dip it into this broth and you eat it, and it's like absolutely wholesome and spicy and hot and gorgeous, and just sticks to your ribs. It's lovely.
What's it made of?
Well, it's vegetables, and it's made with kimchi and a bunch of other like stewed vegetables. It tends to be quite hot. And it's kind of broth, like a broth.
Yeah.
And then you, like a stew. It's like a stew.
Yeah.
And then,
Mouthful of stew.
so you take a big scoop of that with your spoon.
Yeah.
You take it into another bowl and you scoop some rice. So you have rice and the stew in one mouthful, and then you put it in your mouth and then you eat it. And it's sort of,
I'm interested.
oh yeah, it's gorgeous. It's lovely.
Okay.
She's just kind of got a whole, like, it seemed to me, a vegan vibe going on.
Well,
I don't know that much about Tori Amos.
It
Does
would
she?
seem like it, yeah.
I do know she has a personal chef, but I won't hold that against her.
No.
So, if you're
Well,
going to
if
look
you
at
could
gorgeous
have one, you'd
stuff,
want
you
one.
need a
Just-
personal
I would. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You might be making me nachos and Chicago style pizza, but yeah, I want one.
I had nachos last night.
So, yeah. I just going to come back to something for a minute, James.
Do it. Yes, please. Because we forgot to mention this. When we have our respective dinners, you're all there. So if you want to ask
Oh yeah.
somebody a question, you go right ahead.
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
I lived in South Korea for 2 years, and when I was there, I came across a couple Korean people that had lived in Mexico for 11 years. They had come back to Korea, and they opened up a Mexican restaurant. And honest to God, the Mexican food was such a welcome sort of cuisine. I was so happy to have that. And when you were talking about, Marcus and what, if he would, appreciate this, I thought, you know what? I was so grateful to have that Mexican food in South Korea.
Yeah.
It was just, it was so good. And yeah, wouldn't trade it for the world. I don't know if it was the best, but it was the best to me because
Oh.
of the environment. So yeah.
There's a Mexican Asian fusion place near Busch Gardens, actually.
Where's Busch Garden?
Tampa.
Oh, Tampa, Florida. Cool.
I went past the place. God damn it.
It's okay.
We should take that dog to Korea. They can do something with it. They can do something for us there.
Oh,
Serve that up to Tori.
careful now. Careful now. You're bordering on. Do you know they only eat a certain kind of dog? They don't eat all dogs.
No, I didn't think so, but there's definitely a
Do they
thing.
eat Shar-Peis? Because I have one they're welcome to.
In the mountains, they turn the meat of the dog into a jerky, and they eat it like a beef jerky. And it's kind of a treat, like when you're hiking in the mountains and
So
stuff.
I'm never buying Korean beef jerky. Thank you for
Just so
that.
you know.
When I was driving through Alabama yesterday, I did see camel jerky. So I'm like,
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I will pretty much put anything in my mouth.
that about you?
Okay.
Anyway,
All
sorry.
right,
Oh,
so
Tom,
Rob, you have another
don't
question
have-
for Tori?
Put
Move
it
away
away
from
from
the
your
mic.
face a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my God.
A little loud.
Sorry, Jay. I didn't hear that. What was that?
God damn it.
Just punch him. Punch him right in the face.
Does it have nards?
Sadly, no. So
Wolfman has nards.
what I was saying, Rob, is what was your question? Your second question for what do you talk about as you consume your Korean stew?
With Tori Amos.
Yes.
what's your second question? Do you have a second question?
Do you know? Do you know what? That's a good question.
I'll go ahead. I'll go and give you one. But
Yeah.
This is because I'm a pretty I'm a casual fan of Tori Amos, so I would want to know of her, her which album she feels the most affinity for personally, and which song I know they're probably all her babies and blah blah blah, but like which song would she view as the most important song she's written?
Yeah, you know what, James? I think this comes back to something you said earlier. I think if you don't want the answer, don't ask the question, because I think what ends up happening is it's going to be her latest stuff, and
but it's just between you guys though. Like you're not from the press. I mean, let's say she would give the honest answer.
Sure.
Would you not want to know?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay.
But I think, as a human being, I would be afraid. I would be really, truly afraid that she would say it's her latest stuff. Only because, and you know what, there are stuff I like, and I will admit, but I think she's evolved beyond something where I'm at with her music. So, and I think that's really important. And everyone's got to be in that place. Like, I mean, she's gone off and had kids. She has a relationship. She moved to Cornwall, England, and her husband owns a big music studio there. And, she's raised, a girl, and, and her music on her last few albums has been all about that. Where I think as a gay man coming out, her early albums really speak to me, really. And I would be afraid that she would say something that would disappoint me.
Really?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I would. Yeah, okay. I'll be honest. I think I need her to be what she was, and I'll admit that. And
okay.
I'm being honest. I think I like some of the stuff she's done since, but I'm not crazy about the direction she went in.
Right.
I definitely don't ask her what her least favorite song was.
Yeah.
Probably one to do with Trent Reznor.
I would love to. Oh, the Trent Reznor stuff is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to her about her early career. I would love to talk to her about, her formative years as a musician. She had an album called Why Can't Tori Read?
Yeah.
Which was her first commercial.
That was like her demo stuff, right?
That was her demo stuff. And it was, dictated to her by the record companies and blah, blah, blah. And she sold out and she hated it. She didn't like it. And she then came up with Little Earthquakes after that, which was more of her own nature. Fantastic album,
So what do you mean about Trent Reznor?
They had a thing, and he actually sings and does stuff on one of her albums.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, they had a thing. They were they were
together.
Really?
For a
wow.
bit. Yeah. Early in her career, yeah.
Yep.
So
did you tell me that Tori got 9 inches?
Maybe she only got 7.5.
Oh my God.
That was better than I was thinking. She's got a thing to put the things together. No.
Guys, you gotta love the British humor. Stu is always able to go.
That's why he's honing that stand-up skill.
Well, I'm working on it.
I have that wit. All right, Stu, you're up. Robin Williams, what are you serving him, and what do you talk about?
I am serving Robin. Right, this is going to be well controversial, and I'm probably going to get hate mail. But luckily,
I said Chicago-style pizza, so come on, fucking nachos.
This is vegans hate me. I would like to have, because this is dinner. This is dinner with Robin Williams. So, and for the sort of food that I eat now, because I'm basically low carb diet. So this is my fantasy dinner. I'm gonna veal steak. Yeah.
All right.
Veal steak. I'm not finished.
It's delicious.
So veal steak with truffle fries and an Armagnac cream with the side vegetables drenched in butter.
Oh.
Interesting. Poncy twat.
Am I not an absolute ponce?
Poncy twat.
I don't know what that means.
That's why I love you.
I'm a bit of a snob.
Okay. Is that Poncy?
A ponce. I'm a ponce.
Yeah, very.
Which is very different to nonce.
Sorry, I
have
to translate because
a ponce is kind of like a fop, right?
If you're poncy,
kind
you're
of foppish.
Like very uppity, sort of snobby.
Oh,
a bit haughty.
Who do you think you are, Stu?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's just I like it. It's a sort of it's a.
Well, you did introduce us to the smoking hats.
I did introduce them to the smoking hats.
You did. I should have brought mine.
Well, and you would never have thought I was brought up a working class lad from Ben. Basically, where I come from, the one of the favourite foods of Newcastle is called peas pudding.
Oh,
and it is fine. It's not a pudding at all.
Peas pudding hot, peas pudding cold.
Cold.
Peas pudding in a pot 3 days old.
Well, oh my goodness, that how did it get to you, Jeff? That's incredible.
I know. I know weird shit.
Yeah, that's from my hometown, and it's horrible. So basically, peas pudding in Savoy is one of my the region of where I'm from. It's one of the dishes, and Savoy is a red sausage, which is basically just full of crap. It's horrible, and peas pudding is sort of like lentils. But all boiled up and cooled down and mushed, and it's grey and vile.
Cooked to they fall.
Gray?
It's grey. It is.
You're not supposed to eat gray things.
It's like it's cooked till it becomes a paste, right?
Yeah, and it's just nasty. But anyway, so you would never think that is that's the food I was sort of brought up on, and even back then I was like, I'm not eating that. Where's the veal, woman?
Where's the veal? So what do you talk about with Robin Williams, Stu?
My second question is because there was quite a long period of time, and Robin talked about it in his stand-up quite a lot, where you just get really, really fucked up and do some really just some bad shit and end up on the hood of a car, kind of just being like, damn, I don't know what I did last night, but I got somebody's cock in my ass, or something along those lines. So basically, my question to Robin is like, what is the most fucked up thing that you can remember? Because I mean, the stuff he's already told the public.
Yeah,
I want to know, because I mean that's already juicy. That's juicier than Kim Kardashian's bottom after the divorce. It really is. So I'm wanting to know, Robin, what is the most fucked up thing that you've done that you can remember?
What if it's like really like heinous?
I'm sure I could probably top him.
Masturbating into the Alfredo sauce at the local Italian place.
Wow.
All done that.
It's salty.
All done that.
Oh wow. Okay.
That comes from what?
If they don't, it doesn't taste right.
That comes from an episode of Raising Hope. Comes from an episode of Raising Hope.
I like that show.
And there are these snobs that are eating, and they get all ponce. Crap, I can't say it. But they basically walk off, and the one guy's going to try his Alfredo, and the waiter goes, "Don't try the Alfredo sauce." And he's like, "Why?" Because I am Alfredo.
Okay, it's very good.
I love that.
That's pretty good. All right. So Jeff, let's see. He's up. He's dabbing.
Yes. Now you can see what he's talking about. All right. My second course, my pulled pork recipe.
Oh, Jeff makes a mean smoked pork of the shredded pork variety. I don't know if that's anything.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Okay. It's a thing.
We know of the thing. We know of the pulled pork. I pulled pork before.
You pulled the pork.
I've pulled the pork.
I pulled my pork.
Yeah.
Speaking of Alfredo sauce.
But you have to do it with forks, so I don't know.
Ooh, maybe not. Maybe not.
And same thing. I have two questions.
I'd give it a go.
This is not any sort of pulled pork. This is S&M pork.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Hey.
So that's a reference to a British advert.
Oh.
M&S pork, darling.
Oh. Marks and Spencer.
Oh, S&M pork with forks. Sorry, that was laboured. Carry on.
Same thing. I have two questions.
I love you, Stu. Oh my God, I love you.
What's your favorite mythological story? Because they would be stories that we probably have never heard before because it's so old. And the next question is, what do you think of modern technology? And have you been on Pornhub yet?
Oh my God, I live on Pornhub.
That's right. Like they would be like, this dude would be completely. He'd probably never come out of his room again.
Doom, 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 doom.
Oh my God.
Have you seen the women on there? I can't touch them. They're so close, but yet they are so far away.
It's like,
He'd figure it out, though.
It's like they can't see me, right? Okay.
We've all seen California Man. We know what happens.
All right. So those are your two, Jeff?
Yeah.
All right. We're moving on. So you can either do dessert or an after dinner drink. Jeff, you're up again.
Oh.
What do you mean all? What you
Or both.
There I am.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez.
I forgot to say. I forgot. Sorry. I'm bringing some wine to the table as well. I brought that at the start of the meal.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing Montepulciano d'Abruzzo. Anybody else? Did you bring a bottle?
I don't drink, so
I don't drink either.
Well, I don't.
Usually.
Yeah.
I've been guilty on occasion as filmed.
Anyway, sorry, carry on. Because this is a fantasy meal. I mean,
It's true. I guess I would probably try to get him something good.
Yeah.
I went with actual courses, actual food, not necessarily dessert.
Go for it.
Third course, my lasagna.
Okay.
And the question would be, you were in one hell of a fight before you died. Describe the fight and why it happened. So it shows it here. He was shot in the back. And you can see it in the picture there. There's an arrow.
See, isn't there evidence that he was attacked by 3 or 4 or 5 people or something like that?
He was fleeing something, wasn't he? He was fleeing.
You shot him in the back. His back was to me. The weapon, his weapons and clothes contained blood from 4 different people. 2 on the remains of an arrow, 1 on a knife, and 1 on the back of his cloak. He was shot in the back with an arrow. There's a deep cut in his left hand. A wound like this is common, as a defensive wound, or sometimes when you stab somebody, your hand will slip up the blade and you'll cut yourself. You see 3 large bruises on his body. There's a cut on his right arm. His right zygomatic bone, orbit, and nose were broken. He also suffered from cerebral bleeding. So they no longer think that the arrow hit his subclavian artery. They think it was from cerebral bleeding. Because if it hit his subclavian artery, he would have bled out pretty quick. But they know now he lasted about up to 2 days.
Oh.
Do you think he was fleeing these people while he was in those 2 days?
Yes, because the initial wounds on his hand and his face, and all the other wounds were starting to heal. The one in the back was much less healed.
Right.
So it happened, almost, they think a day later he got shot in the back.
Wow.
Oh, poor Otzi.
You never know. He could have been a dick.
Yeah.
What'd you do with my daughter? We'll shoot your ass.
Yeah, it could have been his own people.
We can't hear you again.
Oh, it's because I muted it. So Jeff, would you try to warn him against the danger? Once you put him back in his time period.
I I figured it was, time is set.
Okay. So you just put him back, and he's
because if he changes his course of action, then we're missing.
we never have it. That's true, but we have some answers.
Full mind wipe. Plus, he was 46. He had terrible arthritis, and he had some arsenic poisoning, so he wasn't really long for the world, anyways.
Oh,
that's why all the tattoos. A lot of the tattoos on his body were actually in trigger point areas.
Has he got like a Chinese one that says soup?
Some of the same. No, they were just like a lot of lines along the same areas that they'll do acupuncture and stuff now.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
And what they would do is they'd poke a lot of holes, or sometimes they would do a cut, and then they would take ash and animal fat, and they would rub it into the wound, and that would create a tattoo.
Okay.
Yeah. Very sanitary.
Rob, you're up. Tori, before you bid her farewell, good night. Yeah. What do you serve, and what do you talk about?
Wow, I would definitely give her a Tom Collins.
That's you're stealing mine. Okay, that's
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm giving
for the non-drinker.
The vibe is like totally Tom Collins.
Explain for the non-drinker.
It's gin and like lemon.
Pretty much. Yeah. Casual chat before she fades off into the darkness. I don't know. Her energy is someone who, I don't know, she's like I said earlier, she's a bit of a force of nature, but I think she's also this ebb and flow thing. She comes in, you give her something like a Tom Collins, we have a bit of a chat, and then she fades into the darkness. And that's how I have always envisioned a conversation with Tori Amos. I would love to, I have a friend who is much more obsessed than I am about Tori Amos, and waits outside concert halls for her to appear outside the door. And they wait all hours of the night in order for this. I'm way too old for that. But that's sort of the experience they describe. They perform their gigs, they go off, but I'm more into their art and what they do rather than the person. So I see their art in this sort of very ethereal sort of way. And that's how I want to keep it, because I think that's what she wants to portray in her art and her music. And
I think serve the mystery.
I think for me, because I'm not a huge, I'm like James, I'm a Tory tourist.
I'm more than a tourist, thank you.
Are you really?
I have signed posters. Okay.
Oh wow, that's dedication to me.
That one there is signed right there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Is Rob? Yeah. Oh, so okay. I speak for myself. Then I'm a Tory tourist, so I'd be like, Tori, do you fancy a pickleback? And we'll go clubbing. Because she looks like she could be a party girl, like behind like really, really.
Oh, I can imagine she's a party girl. Yeah,
probably talk about it. Sure.
We talk about her fading.
Your heroes, though, and I'm content with that. I'm totally okay with not meeting my heroes.
When you talk about her fading into the dark, it's like, does she have a meeting with Lestat?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'm up now. So I would give Marcus Aurelius a Tom Collins, because that's pretty much one of the few things that I would drink. And of course, it's not terrible to drink either. So he might.
I love it. Great drink.
Yes. And I would, first of all, I would make sure he's contextualized the modern world and has some sort of view, like he's at least read a book or two about what's happened since his time, and I would ask him for some advice for the modern world. What might he tell us as the modern individual to make our way through this existence?
It's too late. Have fun while you can. No.
Smoke this.
Not what he would say.
You guys.
Not what he would say. I'm kind of fishing for the answer. Would he say that we're fucked? Maybe he would be like, I'm out.
Do like Otzi, run for the fucking hills.
Yeah. There we go. That's mine. All right.
You need to invade Germania.
Oh my god.
No,
They're good now. They're all good.
Well,
to the history buffs out there, where does Marcus sit in relationship to Hadrian? Are like before, after?
He was. So you have. He's one of the 5 good emperors. First, which was Nerva, who only ruled for 2 years, and of course, we're talking up until the early to late 2nd century Common Era. And so you have Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and then Marcus Aurelius was Antoninus Pius's heir. And
also, he was after Hadrian.
He married. So I'm also related. I can trace the lineage through Antoninus Pius as well, because Marcus Aurelius married Antoninus Pius's daughter.
Do you mean Antonius?
No, this is Antoninus.
Antoninus.
A different clan, different tribe. Yes.
Just test it.
There you go. I could talk all day about it. This is what I get paid for.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's good.
Yes. Okay, Stu, bring us out with Robin Williams, and then we're done.
Okay, so Robin and we're both gonna go back to when we were drinking, and because if I'm gonna get fucked up with Robin, I want to get fucked up with Robin, because actually, you never know, you might never have actually tried the other bus, and I'm gonna have to I'm just gonna have to try my best to get Robin in bed. I have to
just to see. Okay,
just to see. So I'm gonna.
Where are you on the Kinsey scale?
See on the count.
So Stu's going to try to seduce Robin Williams.
I'm going to try and seduce Robin Williams with his wit. I'm not going to outmatch it.
Well, Marcus Aurelius may have been seducible, Stu.
He could have been. Yes.
He actually is said to have had a relationship with his teacher, Fronto.
Oh, really?
Said to. We don't know.
Excellent.
But maybe I'll ask about that too. And I'm like, have you met my friend Stu?
He does like a bearded chap.
It's very Roman.
So the drink wise, I'm going to go for with Robin is it's a traditional Italian thing to have at the end of a meal is an espresso with a grappa.
A grappa?
Grappa. It's very strong. Do you know, it's basically it's fermented grape skins.
Oh,
and it's really intense, but it's quite when it's because I don't really like sweet drinks. I don't like.
It is lovely.
Yeah, it's very hot, very fiery.
I'm going to try this.
Yeah,
so
it's hardcore.
I didn't try it.
So you think Stu should have the snails and clams talk from Spartacus with Marcus Aurelius?
Ooh,
probably.
Could do that. He could pull it off.
I think so. Well, gentlemen, any parting question for any of our guests? Jeffrey?
I want to have a cheesecake sampler board with him at the end.
Oh, yes.
And,
a cheesecake.
That's a great idea.
What do you mean by what's a cheesecake sampler board?
Like different kinds of cheesecake.
Yeah. Little tiny squares.
Like you got your New York blueberry, chocolate,
strawberry,
raspberry. There's every conceivable incarnation of cheesecake.
Your cheesecakes are different to our cheesecakes because our cheesecakes aren't baked.
Some of ours aren't either.
See, a lot of the ones here aren't baked either.
Some are, some aren't. And the last question is, how did you like your dinner?
Oh,
I liked my dinner.
Oh yeah, that was one question. If I could, for Robin, was is heaven real?
Oh, so you yanked him from wherever?
Yeah,
you did not time travel.
No, I'm just basically that one. I'm in and out. Yeah, I'm having drunk Robin. I'm having Mrs. Doubtfire Robin. I'm having all sorts of Robin.
We're just talking time travel, but you have like the powers of life and death.
Fuck it.
I mean, maybe this is why you're going the full frou-frou here.
Yeah, absolutely, baby.
Like I said, you can ask him how close it was to his movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
weirdly,
let's go.
no, there's a video on YouTube, right? There's this guy who claims to speak to the dead through one of these, like it's a box, like a radio box, and he says to have had a conversation with Robin Williams. It's bizarre, and he asks him that question: "Is it like your movie and what dreams may come?" And he says, "Yes." It's fucking
That's it,
weird.
just yes, no, like elaboration, like except for that one part.
Yeah,
It's just straight up like what dreams may come.
Yeah, well, basically, but find the video, and it's your brain sort of finds a similar Robin voice. It's really odd because it's all very muffled and it's all meant to be kind of interpreted through this guy. It's bizarre, but yes, speaks to the dead Robin Williams on YouTube somewhere. It's weird, but he also speaks to Jesus as well. Hey,
Of course.
My afterlife would be closer to Wet Dreams May Come.
Oh, is it like Cheech and Chong? Oh wait, that's Nice Dreams. Never mind. Okay. Well, gentlemen, it's been lovely, and welcome, Rob. We love having you. Hopefully, we can do this again sometime in the near future. Any parting words of wisdom or general airing of grievances, gentlemen? Anything?
Next Monday in England, I'm going to on Channel 4. I shall be on national television. Hurrah!
Cool.
That's your episode? That's coming on?
My week. It's a week.
Aha!
Will you be able to post it somewhere?
I would say, how can we here watch?
Can you get Channel 4 OD in America?
No, they
No.
can't.
Oh, that's
So like,
sad.
well, it's probably blocked anyway.
They had
All
a
right.
VPN or something. They could probably.
Jeff does.
I tried VPN, but still you have to like pay for.
Wait, Jeff, can you
There
just
was-
download it? Can you procure it with your means after the episode airs?
Well, matey, I don't know. We have to see about that.
There's a way.
Okay, we'll figure it out. We'll
It's
figure it
so
out.
good. So that other than, oh yeah, I have my own podcast now as well called The Stu Simpson Show.
Yes,
Hooray!
Jeff doing his thing, interviewing artists.
Oh, okay, cool.
I might just add, if I could, just say one little thing. Like Stu and I we have this little group called Big Boys Camp, which we do a lot of experimental music and a lot of queer stuff. For those of you that might be interested, we perform once a year. Actually, is it once a year or once every couple of years?
Well,
Stu?
with pandemics in between.
There's a festival in the UK here that we perform at, and it's called the Queer Spirit Festival. I would invite all of you to look into it and check us out, because we come up with some pretty crazy stuff, and it's out there, kind of funky stuff. So
What was the name again? What was the
Check
band
out
name
Big-
again?
Big Boys Camp. Queer
Okay,
Spirit Festival.
We should link it up. Like you guys have like stuff on YouTube. We can put some of that in the when I
What was-
upload the video.
Big boys. What?
Camp.
Big Boys Camp.
Camp,
BB
as in like Ernest goes to camp.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Camp,
Yeah.
like campy.
Yes,
Camping. Yeah.
Okay.
Big Boys Camp.
Okay.
that's the one.
BBC for short.
BBC, Big Boys Camp.
See what
All
we
right.
did? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming along for our delicious dinner time, and we'd like to thank our lovely guests. In the
Thank you,
meantime-
Robin.
It was nice to meet you, Robin.
Indeed. All right, guys, take it easy.
Good to see you again, Stu.
Bye. Good to
Yeah,
see you, Jeff.
bye, guys. Thanks so much for
Good
having
meeting
me.
you, Rob.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for meeting. Yeah. Bye.
Your bow tie.
Bye.
Here we go. I'm out.
See.
Peace.
Okay.
But I'm in Tennessee right now,
Tennessee.
just outside Nashville.
Tennessee.
Lovely.
You're from Canada now, right?
I am. Yes. Originally. Yes.
Where are you? Where at in Canada?
I'm from Toronto, just north,
Okay.
just outside of Toronto. Yeah.
We grew up in Michigan. Jeffrey and I did.
Okay.
So
All right.
we often had travels through that area then. So I've been to Toronto a few times, more than a few times.
Very nice.
Never went to Toronto, but I've been in the area. Yeah.
Okay.
I've been to Niagara more times than I care to remember.
Okay. Have you ever been to Windsor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where yeah.
Let's see, that's right across the Detroit River.
From Detroit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to play in Detroit quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So at a place called the Coach and Horses many, many years ago. So anyway.
When did you move to Britain?
I moved to England about 12 years ago, 13 years ago.
Okay.
I've been out of Canada for about close to 15 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm done, I'm out.
Yeah, just change the scene. Yeah, do something different.
Well, I want to move to England.
Yeah, it's nice here. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, we're both like England.
Stewart.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow, you're looking fantastic, Rob.
Oh, you look fabulous. Always.
So, Stu, I realized this. Well, I've just learned something today. Are you ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
Loving the house.
I can barely hear you.
How's that?
A little better. A little better. Are you too far away from your mic?
No, I'm not terribly sure.
Can't hear you, love.
You can't hear me.
Not very well. It sounds like your computer mic is trying to pick up, but if you have a real mic, it's not reading your real mic.
Try this one.
Oh, that's better. That's the winner. That's the winner.
The other one, because I've got a new setup. You see, this is new webcam. Ooh.
I tried, and then my mic wouldn't work.
High definition.
Bow tie.
It's here.
Bow tie.
Oh, y'all snapped
cool.
up. Jeff's wearing the hat.
I'm ready for dinner. I've come for dinner.
Oh, I'm definitely not. I was telling them, Stu, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee right now. So,
oh wow.
We're on vacation with the fam.
Well, I saw that you went and met
Ogle.
Ogle. Yeah, Ogle.
Ogle. Yes.
Ogle.
Apparently they like shipped it years and years, like back in like the 90s, and no one ever claimed it from the airport, and it just got stuck there. So they stuck in some display case. I still think it'd be really easy to steal, but that's just just me.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Come on.
It's you're not recording right now. Nobody knows except for us three.
No, we're not recording yet.
I'm recording.
Oh,
I'll bust your ass.
Damn it, Jeff. That's the first one.
Damn it, Jeffrey.
Damn it, Jeffrey.
So how do all you know each other? I'm quite curious about this.
Oh, Stu, shall you tell him?
Should I tell the story?
Yes, tell the story.
And then you can come back to what you're going to say before.
Okay.
Right, Rob. Basically, I used to work in a restaurant, a shithole, a pub in Brampton, and I was James's waiter.
That's true. But he was talking about like, oh yeah, I'm a musician, yada yada, and then he actually played a song from my favorite artist while we were sitting there.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That was really cool. So like he gave us like his the Hadrian's Union, like some flyer you had for a concert coming up or something, and like I think my wife started like talking to you on Facebook or something, like within a matter of hours or whatever.
Well, basically, the chef at the work had been a bit of he'd been a dick basically, because they'd had their meal, they finished, and he was like, "I'm finished my shift. Fuck off! I'm going home." And I was like, "What a douchebag!" So I said, "Look, don't rob the till. There's nobody else working right now, but I can go and get you some chocolate. Would you like that?" And they were like, "Yeah, of course." I just popped.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I did that too.
I got some English chocolate for them.
You did. Stu was just a cool guy. So we've been buds. Of course, Jeff and I we grew up together, so we go way way back to a little tiny town in Michigan.
Wow.
Where nothing much happens and all that.
They don't even have a grocery store anymore.
That's true. There's McDonald's though.
You've got more than my village.
Capitalism.
Shut up, dog.
Yeah, where is that?
Is that your dog, Stu?
No.
That's me.
Oh, that's your dog.
It's not my dog.
Who's watching Spartacus?
Oh, Jackson's still there in Florida.
Oh, Jackson stayed?
Yeah, Jackson's working, so he's making money instead.
Okay.
At least somebody's making money.
Right. All right. So, Stu, Rob, what's your guys' story?
Wow.
I brought him a pineapple. I just bring people food. That's what I do.
How did we meet, Stu? I think
I was Hadrian's Union again.
Yes, a Hadrian's Union. Yes, you were playing the local pub, weren't you?
Oh, no, it was the coffee shop.
No, it was the pub failed to produce opportunities, shall we say, for you to play. And then by chance, you played a coffee shop across the street, and that's where I caught you.
Yeah.
And we became friends.
We just hit it off straight away.
I went up and talked to Stu afterwards, and we just started chatting. And found out he also was a friend of Dorothy's. And then the rest is history.
Very nice. Very nice. Well, gentlemen, I'm gonna go in.
Is that a reference to My Fellow Americans?
That's actually Polari. That's it's basically a secret language in the 60s that gay people used to communicate with each other. And to refer to someone else as gay, they would say they're a friend of Dorothy.
Friend of Dorothy.
From the Wizard of Oz.
Well, in that movie,
is it because gay people love Judy Garland?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Well, in that movie, they end up in a gay pride parade, and there's a whole marching band dressed as Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz.
That's gonna be a nightmare for Jeff to edit that dog.
We're not going yet. It's because my girls keep going in and out the door here. Are you in or are you out? Are you coming in?
Well, Rob and I have been out for years.
That's what I'm thinking. My partner just last night. I can't tell anymore.
So how you feel? Rob was a bit nervous before. You feeling a little bit more chilled now, Rob?
Nervous, but yeah, I'm fine. Yeah.
You're right. It's because these guys are really cool. This is
super cool.
Oh my! I cooked this huge meal because I thought we were doing some sort of.
You did not. Did you really?
I hadn't a clue what was happening. I really didn't.
Did you actually cook it?
I did. Yes.
Oh my God!
That's okay. I'll be eating it all week. It's lovely.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all right. It's okay. Appetizers and all.
Wow. I've just had breakfast for tea.
Oh,
nice.
Also, we've rarely been accused of being cool.
Yeah, I get called cool all the time.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a smoking hat and a bow tie. What the fuck do I know about cool?
That's right. I'm wearing my Tears for Fear shirt. That makes me cool.
Wait, didn't one of the doctors say bow ties are cool?
True.
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith. Bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. Except
I'm wearing curtains.
Rob and I have a mutual acquaintance who basically started slagging off bow ties on Facebook, while Rob was wearing a bow tie. So I was like, I'm not having any of this.
I don't know what the hell, man. Bow ties are cool. Bow ties are cool. Yeah. All right, gentlemen, are you ready to get going on this? I'm hoping we won't have our big the last couple times. I think it's been like a 2-hour shindig, but
yeah,
I'm hoping to be done within an hour, and then we're supposed to go eat dinner or something like that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Are you going to do our count in, Jeffrey?
In 3, 2, 1.